so I was all things Allison. When I got the opportunity to race against her, that was the same year I won national.
Joined Dennis Mitchell in Star Athletics down in Claremont, Florida. And let's just say I'm not regretting the decision that I made.
It was also a reminder. I felt like it was confirmation to me that like, hey, I'm doing the right things and I'm on the right path.
Tania Marshall and Alana Reed, and let's just say that we all push each other to greater heights every single day.
Breaking news from the U.S. Track and Field Championships. MelissaJefferson has just exploded onto the world stage with a jaw-dropping 10.65 seconds in the 100-meter dash, a time that doesn't just put her at the top of the 2025 leaderboard, it rewrites it entirely. While fans were waiting for ShaCarriRichardson to light up the track, it was Jefferson who delivered the fireworks, sending a clear message. The Queen of American sprinting might have just changed. With ShaCarri choosing to skip the rounds thanks to her automatic qualification, Melissa seized the moment and delivered a performance that left everyone speechless. This wasn't a lucky break or a fluke. It was the culmination of a breakout season, a race that turned whispers into headlines and speculation into confirmation. Now, with just weeks to go before the World Championships, the track world has a new name to fear. And if anyone thought they had the women's 100-meter figured out, think again. Because MelissaJefferson just flipped the script, and what happens next could redefine the future of women's sprinting. On a cool evening in Eugene, Oregon, under the weight of expectation and pressure, MelissaJefferson lined up against America's fastest and obliterated them. Despite negative headwinds in the earlier rounds, she glided through the preliminaries with ease, dropping 10.8 seconds like warm-ups. But in the final, the real show began. For the first 40 to 50 meters, it looked competitive. Kayla White and Aaliyah Hobbs were holding their own and the pack seemed tight. But that illusion didn't last long. With a devastating burst of acceleration, Jefferson blew past her rivals, creating daylight between herself and the rest of the field. By the time she crossed the line, it wasn't even close. Her time? A wind-legal 10.65 seconds. Faster than any woman in the world this year. Kayla White, her training partner, came in second with a personal best, and Aaliyah Hobbs secured third, clawing her way back from injury to make the team. But the spotlight was firmly on Jefferson. This wasn't just a win, it was an annihilation. And as if that wasn't enough, TT Terry, once projected as a frontrunner, didn't even qualify, finishing a heartbreaking fourth. The statement was loud and clear. This is MelissaJefferson's moment, and everyone else is just chasing her shadow. The race wasn't just a victory, it was a defining moment in her career, one that instantly elevated her from contender to favorite heading into the global stage. If we're being honest, very few had MelissaJefferson on their radar as the top threat heading into this championship. Not because she lacked talent, but because she hadn't yet delivered that breakthrough performance this season. There had been signs, solid times, strong finishes, glimpses of her explosive top speed, but nothing that screamed world number one until now. Analysts and fans were still focused on ShaCarriRichardson's comeback arc, or the polished consistency of JulienAlfred. Jefferson, though respected, was still viewed as part of that crowded second tier of American sprinters. Dangerous, yes, but not dominant. Even when she made the World Championship final previously, many dismissed it as a one-off, but this run destroyed that narrative. In the blink of an eye, she went from a maybe to the woman with the target on her back. It was the kind of race that forced the media, sponsors, and the entire track world to recalibrate their rankings. Suddenly, conversations shifted from, can she make the podium, to, can anyone stop her? And perhaps most astonishing of all, Melissa didn't just look fast. She looked comfortable, like she had even more in the tank. That's the part that has everyone shaken. While MelissaJefferson was lighting up the track, one figure remained noticeably absent from the spotlight: ShaCarriRichardson. As the reigning world champion, she had the luxury of a bye and opted not to run all 3 rounds at the US Championships. On paper, it made sense. She didn't need to prove anything to qualify, but in skipping the race, she gave Melissa the perfect opportunity to steal the headlines, and Jefferson took full advantage. Now, the track world is left wondering, was ShaCarri's decision a smart preservation tactic or a costly PR misstep? Because while Jefferson was showing the world who she is now, ShaCarri was banking on who she used to be. And in the ruthless world of track and field, momentum is everything. The silence from Richardson's camp post-race has been deafening. No clapbacks, no interviews, no "I'm still the queen" energy, just radio silence. It feels like a shift, like the torch might be passing, and not in the way ShaCarri envisioned. Because in elite sprinting, you're only as good as your last race. And right now, Jefferson's name is on every headline, every tweet, and every prediction sheet for gold. If Richardson plans on reclaiming her throne, she better speak up, with her spikes. There's a hidden factor behind MelissaJefferson's rise that most people aren't talking about, and it's called the GrandSlamTrack effect. Jefferson and Kenny Bednarek were both named GrandSlamTrack's Racers of the Year, a title that's starting to mean something more than just a sponsorship accolade. Because whatever they're doing, whether it's the training structure, race schedule, or athlete-first development strategy, it's working. Melissa's 10.65 wasn't just a personal win, it was a blueprint coming to life. The program has quietly built up a reputation for preparing sprinters to peak at exactly the right moment, and now it's delivering results on the world stage. Bednarek won the men's 100-meter title. Jefferson crushed the women's final. That's not coincidence, it's a system. And while fans debate rivalries and medals, the real story might be behind the scenes. GrandSlamTrack isn't just participating in the conversation, they're starting to dominate it. If Melissa continues this trajectory into the World Championships, the effect will be impossible to ignore. The next wave of elite sprinters may not be coming from the traditional powerhouse camps anymore. They're coming from Grand Slam, quietly, strategically, and fast. Running 10.65 at a national championship is one thing. Doing it under the lights of the World Championships, with the weight of the world on your shoulders, is something else entirely. That's the real test ahead for Melissa Jefferson. Now that she's emerged as a favorite, expectations are no longer optional. They're suffocating. Can she handle the global spotlight? Can she repeat that magical run against the deepest field of competition she's ever faced? The ghosts of athletes who peaked too soon haunt this sport. Just ask the ones who never found their rhythm again after a breakout performance. But here's the thing. Jefferson has shown she can handle pressure. She's made finals before, she's been counted out before. And this time, she's coming in with the wind at her back, both figuratively and literally. But make no mistake, the World Championships will be different. The lights are hotter, the media is ruthless, and the margin for error is microscopic. If she falters, critics will call her a flash in the pan. But if she delivers, again, she'll cement her legacy as the next American sprint queen. The stage is set. The question isn't whether she can run fast, it's whether she can do it when it matters most. And now, with the World Championships fast approaching, the sprint world is being forced to take sides. Team Melissa or Team Julien? Because no matter how many names are thrown into the mix, everyone knows it's going to come down to those two. ShaCarri might make noise, Talu might sneak into the conversation, but it's Alfred and Jefferson who have separated themselves as the true heavyweights. Jefferson has the time, Alfred has the consistency. Both have explosive finishes, strong mental games, and fan bases that are growing by the day. But only one can win gold. And with experts predicting a potential sub-1050 showdown, yes, you heard that right, the rivalry is shaping up to be historic. Every tweet, every interview, every false start, every lean at the tape is going to matter. So ask yourself, who do you believe in? The rising force with the hottest time of the season? Or the reigning queen of calm dominance? One thing's for sure, this isn't just a race, it's a war. And when the blocks click in Budapest, the world will be watching.